Howdy there folks, it's Geist with another Destiny 2 video, and it is a continuation on Ticuus now that I have the Catalyst. The Catalyst does this. Perfectly drawn arrows that detonate sacred flames increase arrow damage. Striking targets unaffected by sacred flame instead refreshes causality arrow's duration. Basically, shorthand, what it does, anytime you land a perfectly drawn hit on a target that is afflicted by sacred flame, you will get a damage buff that stacks up to 10 times, and it lasts for 5 seconds. Now, in a PvP situation, this does absolutely nothing. Other than putting a kill tracker on this bow, this perk isn't going to add anything extra to you, and it's just not going to help you out. So, for the purposes of PvP, if you're not interested in the kill tracker, I would say don't waste your time with this Catalyst. I grinded this thing out and had it done the day after it came out. I stayed up all night just trying to finish it just so I could try it out, and I was sorely disappointed. The damage increase that you get per stack of causality arrows is not enough to kill a Guardian with a body shot until the 3rd Guardian that you get to. So what that means is you would have to tag somebody with Sacred Flame, hit them with a perfect drawn shot, and kill them. Or not kill them, I guess, but preferably you'd want to kill them. Move on to the 2nd Guardian, do the exact same thing. Hit them with the Sacred Flame and immediately hit them with another perfectly drawn arrow. Then, on the 3rd Guardian, you will be able to body shot them instead of having to headshot. The first 2, in order to secure the kill, need to be headshots. The main issue with this is, obviously that takes a lot of time as it's a bow. You're not really going to be able to quickly go from target to target to target unless people are just lining up for you. And from there, if they're lining up and letting you kill them one after the other, doing the exact same thing with Ticuus, and you're taking down 3 people, then good for you, or you're just fighting bags of potatoes, I guess. But for practical use in the Crucible, this Catalyst has absolutely zero consistency. Realistically, it's not going to do anything at all. The only thing that I can think of that it would possibly be useful for is if you're fighting a super and you're hitting them multiple times with that perk over and over. But based on my previous testings, most of the supers go down in a Sacred Flame mark and then a headshot and then the same again. So it takes 2 full cycles of detonations on the head to kill them, but it will already kill them in 2 shots. I didn't necessarily test this on every single super, just a couple of them, but the damage numbers do indicate that that's not going to change anything with this Catalyst. So if you want the Crucible kill tracker, great, go for it. It's definitely worth your time if you want to just keep track of the people that you kill with this. I've had this Catalyst for days, as I said, and I just haven't felt like putting out this video because after getting the Catalyst and actually putting some time in with Ticuus, I kind of found it to be disappointing, which is a shame because I was super hyped about this bow. I mean, as quickly as it draws, you would think that, oh man, this thing, it's really going to put some work in on people. And I mean, it's possible, it's there. You can see from the gameplay, I get a couple kills here and there, but I wanted to post this game just so you can see this is kind of what my average experience was with Ticuus. Every now and then, I would step in and out of cover, get that perfect timing, kill somebody. Other times, the moment you hit them with that mark, they're going to know what you're trying to do, and they're going to run, or they're going to wait for it to go away. They're not going to peek you again because they don't want to die to Ticuus. And for me, you know, after almost exclusively using Monarque for a long time now, Ticuus just didn't hold up. Monarque is still going to be the king of bows as far as Crucible is concerned. And I mean, that's just kind of a given. I mean, the damage numbers are definitely there for Monarque. Ticuus, the major issue is you mark somebody and they get an indicator on their screen that says, hey, I'm about to get destroyed by this person with this bow. I need to back off. I need to rethink. Or, you know, if the guy's rushing you with a shotgun, he's not going to be paying attention to that because he's going to be too busy blowing your head off. With Monarque, you hit somebody with a headshot, there's no warning or indicator. You just crapped away 175 points out of their health. They're going to be running, or they're going to be waiting for the quick and easy cleanup from a teammate. So I kind of like that burst damage up front. I don't like to warn somebody that I'm about to throw a bunch of burst damage on them. And in practice, the other issue with Ticuus is since it requires a headshot, you really want to be as precise as possible with this bow. And with Ticuus being a lightweight, it is not a precise bow. It is not as precise as our higher impact bows, such as the Monarque and others in its archetype. So on paper, looking at Ticuus, it looks like it would be a phenomenal bow. You've got something that, of the 2 shots that you have to land on somebody, one of them is an easy, almost impossible to miss shot that you don't even have to aim down sights for. You just fart it out from the hip and let it fly at them, mark them, boom, and they're ready for that quick follow-up on the headshot. In theory, that sounds pretty cool, and it sounds like a bow that would achieve a pretty quick 2-tap on somebody rather rapidly and with half of it being auto-aimed. But unfortunately, due to the nature and the design of it, I guess this is just Bungie putting a limiter on it. It marking people and putting that notification on their screen and them being on fire, they know what's coming. They know what to expect. If they're smart, they're not going to peek. Or if they're already committed to the kill and they're on you and you're not really able to double peek like you need to with a bow, you don't have any kind of a follow-up with that. Like for instance, if I do that to Le Monarque, or do that to someone with Le Monarque, I hit them with that shot and they're right up on me, I can swap to my sidearm and clean them up. With Ticuus, that mark just kind of tickles them. It doesn't really do much to them. So you're basically just going to have to go for the full sidearm kill at that point. And at that point, you might as well have just been using your sidearm from the get-go. So in my opinion, it's kind of more of a novelty at this point. It looks really cool. It sounds really cool. It's really fun to use. And in a PvP situation, Ticuus is really, really good. And I think that's what it's more designed for. That stacking debuff on bosses does a lot of damage for a primary. I'm not particularly a PvE player, and I haven't damage tested against bosses, but with that damage ramping up and up and up, I would imagine that it would out DPS things like Le Monarque and other bows. And typically if you're trying to DPS a boss or something like that, you're really not using a bow anyways. But with Ticuus, it's a little bit different. It falls more into the category of things like Polaris Lance or Malfeasance, where they actually can do some decent boss DPS because of their perks. So in that situation, if you're shooting the boss, you hip fire, headshot, hip fire, headshot, hip fire, headshot, and you're going back and forth, you're going to ramp the damage up and up and up. But in a crucible environment, that's just not going to work for you. It's not really going to do anything for it. I was kind of hoping that at base, it would at least turn it into a body shot on that second arrow, just to kind of give Ticuus a little bit more consistency. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. So my final thoughts on this catalyst, it ain't worth your time. Unless you just want the crucible kill tracker just to flex. I mean, and hey, if you're a guy that's got it on there and you got a few thousand kills with Ticuus, hey, good for you. You're dedicated and you've enjoyed the novelty. But if you're that person that can get that many kills with it and get it that quickly, then you can probably kill everybody with a toothpick. But anyways, guys, that's it. Now, as you've seen from this gameplay, obviously, some of this is me making some poor decisions. I was getting kind of frustrated trying to use this bow at this point. I got a little too aggressive with it. I made some stupid mistakes. But I left this video completely unedited so you could see exactly what I was dealing with. This was about an average game with Ticuus. And I did okay. I still managed to stay positive, and I still ended up on the top of my team. And this was a pretty unbalanced match. We were kind of getting crapped on by the other team. But as you'll see from some of the footage, when Ticuus works, it works, and it's fun. But when it doesn't work, it really exacerbates the problem of using a bow. Those issues that you have with other bows where you get caught trying to double peek, or you miss a shot because they're inaccurate because of the lightweight bows, it really makes that problem a lot worse because, well, you hit your first shot because it was handed to you, but you didn't actually do any damage. So that person really wasn't close to death. And I think the gameplay just kind of speaks for the rest of it. But anyways, guys, that wraps up my thoughts on Ticu. I hope you've at least enjoyed the footage of watching me struggle to try to make it work. Found some entertainment out of it. But if not, I hope I gave you some good insight on it as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great evening.